Thanks everybody for being here. Good afternoon. Just I guess following up a little bit from last week. Obviously, disappointing loss. Coming off of OU, but I think there was a lot that we really took out of that game as a program that was really encouraging for us. And you stand on the sideline and you're a part of a game like that, and just really like what I felt, was really our culture being built, and the types of things that we were talking about on the sideline, the way we were competing, the way we were supporting one another, the way we were looking forward and constantly, worrying about the next play and the next situation. The way we played together as a team was really special. It was a different feeling, than I've had here at the University of Akron, and it was really exciting to be a part of, and it was something that definitely we have the opportunity to build on. I was really proud of how our defense responded to some really difficult situations, some adversity that hit us. I was really proud of our defense. I thought we responded exceptionally well to some adversity that showed up earlier in the week, and adversity that struck throughout the course of the game. I thought our defense played really well. We gave up a couple drives, gave up a couple big plays, but we were able to do a great job, force a number of 3-and-outs, did a great job on third down, and came up with some big time stops in the fourth quarter when we really needed to. Offensively, I thought we played a really solid game, and obviously we need to score more points. But we moved the football exceptionally well. We're just playing, with really, poor field position the entire game. I think our average drive started at the minus 18-yard line compared to, OU, who was starting at about the 44. So that's a big factor that we need to improve. Whether it's in our kicking game or whatever the case is. But we moved the ball exceptionally well. We ran the ball with great efficiency. We rushed for over 200 yards. I think we averaged, over 5 yards per carry, which, is pretty significant for us. Something we've really worked very hard to improve, and, was really proud of our group, in that regard. And you look at, our number of explosive plays. I think, a quarter of our plays, we ran 74 plays in the game, 24% of them, were 10 or more yards gained, on that play. So there was a lot of really great things to build on. And, as you go back and you look at it, and it's like, okay, well, what do we need to really improve on? Where do we need to focus? And, number one is protecting the football. We turned the ball over 3 times, and that ultimately became the story of the game, and that was the difference in the game. So we've got to do a much better job on offense, taking care of the football. Really had 3 unforced errors in that game, and it cost us, and it put our defense in some really difficult situations that, as I mentioned, they responded exceptionally well, to 2 of them in the fourth quarter. So that was great to see. Moving forward, big week for our program. Obviously a very exciting week in Northeast Ohio. One of the great rivalries. In college football, we have the opportunity to be a part of this week, and we've had a great first couple days. Had a Monday practice a couple days ago, and just finished up our Tuesday practice here a few minutes ago, and we're off to a great start. Our guys got a great mindset, great mentality heading into this week, and we're excited for the challenge.
You mentioned unforced errors. One of those was a particularly bad interception by Zach Gibson. Bad decision, it looked like. You having played the position, that's not the first time he's done that, but you having played the position, how do you prevent that? How do you wean him from doing that? Is that something that can be taught in the heat of the moment in a situation?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's obviously a bad decision. I know you're referring to the third down situation where we scrambled, escaped, and had some pressure. Had some guys, really draped all over us, and I think we've really harped on not taking sacks, and doing a better job and helping our offensive line and getting the ball out and all those sorts of things. And I think sometimes in those moments, you're so concerned about not taking a sack, you make a bad decision just trying to get rid of the ball, and you're getting hit as you're doing it, and the ball goes where it's not supposed to go, and unfortunately, went directly to, an opposing defender. So, that is, it's definitely something we can think of, that we can coach, for sure. And it's something that Zach, before he even picked himself up off the turf, he was already, kind of motioning like, I know what I just did. And, and that was the conversation, that we had, was just understanding that, hey, look, it's third down. It's a situation where if we take a sack here, we're going to lose, 4 or 5 yards of field position. But it's not the end of the world. We're going to punt the ball away, regardless whether we throw it away or whether we take a sack here. So, just being smart and making great decisions with the ball is really important, and that's going to be it's a major focus for us. We had a great conversation as a team today, about protecting the football and how critical that is, to our success. And we got to place a premium on ball security and a premium on decision making with the ball in our hands. So, that is definitely something that we can improve.
Is that a case of inexperience on his part, or just the heat of the moment?
Yeah, I think it's the heat of the moment. Certainly, experience is valuable, but I think it is the heat of the moment. And I think Zach was feeling pretty good, and was very confident in that game. Had made some great throws and some big plays, and was doing it with his legs, and he had a lot of real positive vibe going. And I think he just kind of felt in that moment that he could make it right. And and that's where he has to learn, and that's the biggest area of growth for him is, that he's not going to be able to fix it all, and he's not going to be able to make every play, an explosive play. He's not going to be able to make every play a touchdown. There's going to be some plays where, where they got us, and the best thing that we can do is to just protect the football and to make a great decision, and to not make a bad situation worse. And I think that that certainly comes with experience, and I think it also comes with just awareness, and a heightened awareness of each moment in the game.
Can you qualify where that offensive line is right now?
They're ahead of, I think, where we expected them to be, certainly. I've been really proud of them. I think they've played really well together. They've been physical. They've communicated really well. They're playing with good technique and fundamentals, and it's really it's helping our offense. And I'm proud of the group and where they're at, and excited about how much room they have to improve. And that's certainly this season, but these guys are all they're going to be at Akron for a long time, and that's a lot of off-season cycles in the weight room, and with Coach Mack, and just developing within our program, and understanding the offense. And I think this is a group that is only going to get better, and it's a group that we can really build our offense and our team around.
Now, Xavier Gray in particular, I paid attention to him the other night. He looked fairly dominant for a lot of the game. I saw a couple pancake blocks.
That's always good. That's always a good thing. The more of those, the better. But X is a he's a guy that we are really fortunate to have in our program, and he's 6'9", 330 pounds, whatever he is right now. I mean, he's a big person, and he's able to assert himself in that way. Throughout the game, and I think that he's one, just like all of our young offensive linemen that have really grown a lot, in the short amount of time that we've had with them. And he's getting better in the weight room. He's getting stronger. He's learning how to use his body and understand his leverage. And as a taller guy, sometimes that can be a challenge. But he's done a really fantastic job, and we're excited about his progress, and look forward to his continued improvement.
Much better do you think your running game can get?
Well, I think it. I sure hope it continues to improve every week. I was really proud of how we ran it last week. I think if we're able to go out there and run the ball with that level of effectiveness, week in and week out, I think we're going to put ourselves in great position as an offense, and honestly as a program. You look at what it does for you, and how it helps you control the football. And we had the ball for 35 minutes in that game, and that's less plays our defense has to play. That's less opportunities our opponent has to score. And I think the more that we can do that, the better we're going to be. But I think that's an area in these first couple of weeks of the season where I think we've all felt that we've made a lot of progress. And you have to give a lot of credit certainly to our backs. I think they're doing a fantastic job running. But it's a team effort. It takes the commitment of every single player and coach in your program to be able to to improve in that type of way. And our offensive line is playing well. Our wide receivers are blocking on the perimeter. Our tight ends are doing a great job, and our running backs are hitting it hard. And I don't want to leave the quarterbacks out of that as also. I mean, they're getting us into they're getting us into the right play. It was a big part of our plan against OU. We had a number of different checks in the game, and based on certain looks, and our quarterbacks did a really good job making sure that we were in the most favorable situation that we could be in.
What prompted the move of Boogie from basically slot receiver to running back, and what's that do for your offense?
Yeah, Boogie played running back in high school, so he has some experience doing that, and obviously he's been an effective receiver and returner for us in our program. And I think, we had some injuries, and had some depth issues, kind of that second part of training camp, and we really felt that we had more depth at the wide receiver position. Tony Grimes was really coming on. Practicing really well, showing that he was capable of being a solid contributor, in our offense. And I think, with the depth at wide receiver, with the development of Tony Grimes, I think it just made sense for us to take an experienced veteran player that we all trust, that we all have confidence in, and be able to move him, to the backfield and add some great depth. And bring a different element, to the running back position than we had. So, again, it was a really easy conversation, and I give a lot of credit to Boogie for that, because that's not easy. Just anytime you're moving positions, it's just it can be a challenge. It can be it may not be what you want, but I know that Boogie was excited about it, and he recognized an opportunity to help our program and to really be able to make an impact on the games. And he jumped on it, and he spent hours and hours up here with Coach Everett. He spent time on his own watching film and just getting himself caught up really quickly. So I give a lot of credit to Boogie for being able to do that, and it certainly has proved to be a very good move for us.
How you've got, I had a percentage at one point. It looks like 70% underclassmen on your team. Now, how do you still instill the importance of a Kent-Akron rivalry into them when they're that young?
I think they get it. I think they certainly do. After the last couple days here, some of the conversations we've had, and just understanding what rivalries are all about. Each of them had a great rivalry, I'm sure, in high school. That's kind of the great thing about high school football and college football that make it so different, from the NFL. There's certainly rivalries, between organizations, whether it's, Green Bay, Chicago, or, Cleveland, Pittsburgh, whatever it is. But, the difference is, these guys are professionals, and, one of them may have played on the Steelers, a year ago or earlier that season, and, they've been on 8 teams. So, what does that rivalry really mean to them, Whereas, high school and college, that's who you are. That's your that's your life. That's your, that's your program. That's, where you've made your home. And, and I think that, recognizing, what this rivalry means in Northeast Ohio, what it means to the universities, to the programs, to everybody involved with both schools. I mean, you can't, you can't avoid, it. And it's, it means a lot, and our guys understand, how important it is. And I think our older guys that, have played in this game, even if there are some guys that only played last season, we got a number of guys that have played, in multiple wagon wheel games. And I think they've done a great job of setting the tone and, really, instilling, the importance and, really just the rivalry, the rivalry that exists and the rivalry that makes college football so special and makes weeks like this so special for everybody involved. I think our players and our coaches have done a great job of instilling that.
You played in intense high school rivalries. What do you tell them based on your experience?
It's not about how you feel. It's not about what you say. It's about what you do. And that's the bottom line. I mean, there's going to be emotion. There's going to be it's going to be a passionate game. It's going to be an intense game. But it's not about all the stuff people want to say. It's not about all the different things that that you talk about and all that. It's about what you do. At the bottom, at the end of the day, and the bottom line, that's what makes the difference, is what you do and what you're willing to do, as much as you talk about how important this is, as much as, you talk about how much this means, to our school, how much this means to our program. Like, all right, well, what are you going to do about it? What are you willing to sacrifice? In terms of your commitment, to make sure that you do everything you can to put our program in the best position to go out there and play as well as we can. So, I think that's the big thing, is like, hey man, we can have all the emotion and, we can give them a rah-rah speech and, fire them up and all that. But man, at the end of the day, it's about what you do and it's about how you play. And, that's what we need to really focus on is our execution, our preparation, and our ability to go out there and execute in that moment.
How's your health going to be going into the game?
We will be as healthy as we are. And that's we're no different, I'm sure, than anybody else. It's a different different set of circumstances. You're not just battling sore ribs and busted up ankles, whatever it is. I mean, you're battling a whole lot of different things, and we knew that going into it, and there's no excuses, there's no explanations. We have a roster, and our job is to prepare our team, and put them in position to be as successful as possible.
Thanks, Tom.
Thanks, George.
Courtney, Joey, any questions?
Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Coach, obviously the defense got a lot better from Western Michigan to the Ohio game, and Bubba has stepped up as kind of the leader on that side. After looking at the tape, is there two or three other guys that are really playing well on defense? Because it looked like, especially that defensive front was a lot better this week.
Yeah, I do. I really think, you said it. Bubba has been playing really well for us, and I don't think that's a surprise to anybody out there. Bubba's he's just a great football player. Just finds the football, tackles the football, and makes plays. But I think it's again, you talk about defense. I mean, we play team defense, and we need 11 guys executing their responsibility within the defense, running to the football, being physical on blocks and tackling. And I think that was really the big thing that I saw and going through the tape, and I talked about it at the beginning of the press conference, just the way we competed. Like, that, it was really special. It was really special. There have been very few, groups that I've been around that have competed the way we competed, last week in terms of, our ability to, to run to the football, to tackle, and, to play with great energy and great effort. Was really awesome to see and something to build on. And, you know, you look at it, I thought our D-line, you know, played a much better game. You know, despite, you know, having, some issues there in terms of our depth. I thought our D-line played really well. I thought, you know, Brandon Bischoff, you know, did a really nice job coming in, you know, getting healthy here, you know, over the last couple of weeks, and, you know, really being able to step in and fill a really big role in at linebacker with Bubba. You know, thought he did a great job and came up with some, you know, some really big tackles for us in the open field. You know, so, you know, again, I think it was a team effort, and you know, I think you got to give a lot of credit to, you know, to our defensive linemen, you know, who played, you know, really well in that game, and, you know, our linebackers, because you know, we kind of knew, you know, that was a group that really wanted to run the football, and for us to have a chance to be successful, we were going to have to stop the run, and you know, I think, you know, for the most part, you know, we were able to do that.
Coach, I don't know if you saw the tail end of that Toledo Western Michigan game when they had the onside kick that they recovered. Did that look similar to what you guys tried to do against them? Did they kind of pick that out of your playbook or not?
Yeah, you know, I don't know. I did not get a chance to see it. I think I was long asleep, you know, by the time that was going on. But I have not had a chance to pull it up and watch. I've obviously heard a lot. It sounds like it was a really crazy finish in a lot of ways. You know, I was looking forward to that game. I think. You know, I think that, you know, obviously, you know, Western Michigan, you know, we have a lot of respect for them, having played them. Think they're a really, really good football team, and obviously have a lot of respect for Toledo's program as well, and was excited to see how that game turned out. And you know, it looks like it was a hard-fought game, a great game, and you know, some really interesting situations at the end of the game that some point later this week, you know, I'm going to take a look at, and, you know, as we get into some of our you know, situation mastery meetings, get an opportunity to, you know, potentially educate, you know, our team, and show them some of those, you know, some of those moments of the game that we can learn from.
Anything else from any of the bud?
When did you ask Knight to move to running back? Was that in fall camp?
It was. Yeah, it was probably, you know, it was towards the end of our training camp. Yeah, probably like heading into that last week of camp before we got to the season is when we made that move. And I think, you know, it was actually, you know what it was? It was right before, it was like, yeah, it was about halfway through. You know, it was right before our first scrimmage, so our 8th practice. You know, we had just moved him to running back, and he went out and had an incredible scrimmage. And, you know, I think we all felt really good about what he was bringing to the table for us.
Can you talk about that energy on defense? Who spearheads that? Who's the leader to keep that group fired up to have those big stops like they did?
You know, I mean, I think it always, you know, it starts with Bubba, you know, as the captain, you know, of our team and of our defense. I think it has to start there. But again, it's a group dynamic, and it's really a program. It's a program dynamic in the sense of just the energy that you know, that I try to bring every day, the energy that our coaching staff tries to bring every day, and you know, and I think that rubs off on our team, you know, and we come in and, you know, we got a lot of juice and we got a lot of energy, and, you know, we're challenging, you know, our players, and, you know, we're pushing them hard, and, you know, we're operating at a fast pace. You know, everybody operates at a fast pace, and, you know, and that type of feeling, you know, inspires other people. And I think, you know, when you get a group that, you know, is able to do that and able to bring that every day, I think, you know, great things can happen. And, you know, and that's been one of the exciting things about this particular group, you know, is they work hard, you know, and they compete, you know, and we've seen that, you know, going back through our winter program and through training camp practices. We come out every day and we play hard, and we practice hard, and we compete hard against one another. And, you know, it was nice to be able to see that translate to, you know, to a game situation.
Anybody have one final question?
Sure, I've got one. The Bubba move, how much, I don't think you ever delved into it, but how much does that help your versatility?
Boogie.
Because, Yeah.
Yeah. You know, it does. I mean, I think that, you know, Boogie's been a productive wide receiver for us in our program. So, you know, there are some things that you feel comfortable with giving him, you know, out of the backfield, and I think that's, you know, an area that, you know, we really previously haven't had. Haven't had that guy that, you know, is a weapon out of the backfield and that you can do some different things with. And, you know, I think Boogie gives us that for sure, and a great, you know, comfort level and trust level with our quarterbacks. You know, and I do think that, you know, what we're learning more, you know, about, you know, the longer we get a chance to coach Tion, is that he has a lot of those elements in him as well. Tion's got, you know, really great hands, and, you know, he's really sudden in his route running, and, you know, everything that we've asked him to do in the pass game, he's done a great job of. And it's just, you know, it's managing that, and it's, you know, it's building that in a logical progression for him, where, you know, you're not throwing, you know, too much at him too quickly and asking him to do too many things or wear too many hats. But, you know, I do think that, you know, that's going to be a role that we can continue to expand as the season goes.